Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you for coming today. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Global Harmony House. Are you happy that you are here today? Beautiful music, meditation, and beautiful songs, so touching. Change. And the subject today is very beautiful too. To have a great experience this evening, we have put together a very nice program for you. And I'll request everyone to turn off their phones to enjoy that experience, just in case someone forgets. Anyone for the first time here? So that's great. You all know so it will be easier. My name is Dr. Sushil Sagar. Let me introduce myself first of all. At Global Harmony House, I'm fortunately a student of this godly university. For the last 4 years or so, I have taken the education. I'm learning Easy Raj Yoga, a study of spirituality, as you know. My focus is work with love, with zeal and enthusiasm. I'm a medical doctor, on the other hand, a nephrologist, kidney specialist. I'm a teacher in medical institutes like medical teacher. And I'm also the director of few dialysis units on Long Island. So some administrative work. So that gives me a good flavor of different roles that I have to play. Today, I'm playing the role of MC and a moderator. So that's my additional qualifications. But Almighty God has given me that power today. The program that we have put together for you is change is hard, change is constant. And philosophy of this will get deeper to it. I have Sister Neeru and Sister Rupa as our panelists today. It's my pleasure to introduce them to you. Sister, you want to come to the stage and take your seats where the mics are arranged. You want it? Thank you, sisters. In the center, we have Sister Rupa Dadlani. And on my left, extreme left, is Sister Neeru Elavadi. Sister Neeru Elavadi has been a student of Global Harmony House, studying Raj Yoga meditation for almost 5 years. She holds an MBA in finance and marketing. She is currently working as an IT assistant director at Stony Brook University. She studies and incorporates the jewels of Raj Yoga knowledge into her inner peace, happiness, strength, and decision-making in professional and personal family life. In the center, we have Sister Rupa Dadlani, who is currently working for Northwell Health System in a revenue cycle business as a medical auditor. She has been in Gyan or knowledge for over 8 years. Through this knowledge, she maintains the stability of her emotional state. Now, this knowledge is her nutrition and a healthy source to keep her balanced, especially in the midst of an unhealthy environment. Medical institutes, unhealthy, right? Thank you, sisters, for joining us tonight. Now, throughout our lives, we have experienced different seasons, different people, and different circumstances. We deal with these changes in many ways, even though it may not be easy. In science as well as in physics, changes happen, as you know. They say change is the law of nature, popularly. If I may narrate a small paragraph from Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield is very popular, inspirational writer. Some of you may know him. And I'll read the verbatim. Quote, change is inevitable in life. You can either resist it and potentially get run over by it, or you can choose to cooperate with it, adapt to it, and learn how to benefit from it. When you embrace change, you will begin to see it as an opportunity for growth. But growth is not guaranteed, of course. Unquote. Lots of this is external change that he was talking about, but today is a little different. Our focus is somewhat different from the before, and we will hear about knowledge of inner self, the soul, today. I'm hoping that our panelists will look at some of the changes in their spiritual lives and how they managed the process. With that intro, let me ask the first question to sisters. The first question, sisters, is, would you describe what constant changes means to you in your professional and personal life? And let's begin with Sister Niru. Is that okay with you? Please, it's all yours. Thank you, sister. Please go ahead.
Om Shanti, welcome. Welcome to today's session. Change is constant and change is hard. We all have experience of changes. I was just coming here driving from home, and there was a change in the traffic pattern. When I saw an hour or 2 hours ago, it's at 45 minutes and I'll be here. But I guess there was a change. It took like twice the time, but it was a change. So we are all exposed to different changes. And the change that really intrigues me and touches me is the change which I see in the nature. From the nature, what I mean is when I see, of course, we all are seeing the colors of the trees, they're changing, the season is changing. But what is so beautiful is when I see the bees and the insects, they are visiting my backyard. And I know what is happening behind scene. There's a change happening. There's pollination happening. There's an act of fertilization happening where the pollen grains, they fall on the anthers and it goes through the stigma and the ovaries and it produces the fruit. All the change, what intrigues me about nature's change is it's so silent, so effortless. And it's beautiful, like millions of trees, all the leaves are shedding, there's no noise. It's so silent, but it's happening. So that is the nature change, which really intrigues me. But apart from that, there are other changes that you see, the political changes, economical changes, job changes, weather changes, like I was listening about the flood and everything. So we are constantly exposed to the different, but how is it we can stabilize ourselves in the midst of all this change? So your question, brother, was regarding the personal and the professional. On the personal side, after coming into knowledge, I'm actually able to experience and observe the subtle changes that happens within me. I'm not talking about the physical change, which I know Dr. Sagar can talk more about how the cells are renewing and multiplying and all. I don't know much of that. But the subtle changes that I'm talking about, my mind, just like the TV screen, is constantly playing things. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are going. Emotions are rising, emotions are subsiding. Images coming, images going. But everything, and I'm a very visual person. You say something and all of a sudden the picture popping. How many of you are visual people? I'm so visual. You're talking and I have pictures going on in my head. So my mind, it's just like a TV screen where it's constantly playing something, but I know that is a constant change happening. The feelings coming, feelings subsiding, vibrations rising. So with everything happening, but what really is interesting is that I'm able to observe that more, and not only observe it, but kind of separate myself and distance myself. What happens is we become that emotion. If I have the emotion of irritation, next thing we know is we become irritated. And then I say, I am irritated. I am irritated. Irritation was an experience because the mind had the change going on of the vibration. But once I gave my energy and attention and I said, identify it as me, I became that. And I came into action. So all these change, that's nothing but the change of vibration which is happening. But as soon as I don't create that distance, that separation, I become that. So knowing now, after coming into knowledge, that that is not me. Anything which is constantly changing cannot define me. I'm higher than that. I'm a higher consciousness. It's within me. This tree of experiences, the tree of thoughts, tree of emotions, tree of everything happening. What do I touch? What do I want to wear? I have the choice. So with this, it's a work in progress. You know, it is, this is the understanding I have, this is the knowledge I have, and this is what I'm practicing in my day-to-day life. Knowing this, I'm able to see when it comes to people, I'm becoming more resilient. At my workplace also, when there are people with their mood swings, with their attitude, with giving, whatever, if they have deadlines and they have excuses to not do things, I'm able to accept it. I'm able to handle it better and try to understand that, because I try to see differently. I see it as we all in the world drama. They're just playing the part. What's there for me to really, what can I do about it? So try to handle it from a different way. So that's what change really means to me. Seeing the people, whatever they're doing is their script. It's their part. This is all we are. We are just doing what it's predestined and recorded in us. And it's all coming out. It's all within me. So that's how I see the people
Thank you.
and profession.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Sure, yes, brother. So when the changes is taking place, I have an understanding of why things are happening. Certainly changes which are external to me are not in my control. Political changes. That's where I put if there are times that I could slip also. It's not that I'm 100% there, because it's an effort making stage that I am. That is one of the things at the end, but I can talk.
We'll come to that. We'll not let you go without
Yes,
that
I'm
answer.
going to come. That's the board there.
No, that's all right.
No. I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy.
This is great. Some conversation, but we are going to give you, after both the sisters answer, then I'll give you the opportunity for you guys also to.
If you guys don't mind, can I walk you through a little bit of exercise, if it's okay with you? Okay. So let's close our eyes or open, if howsoever you feel comfortable. Closing your eyes, you can feel your breath. You can feel the pounding of your heart. You can feel the vibrations, the sensations in your body. You, the being, is an observer of everything that is happening within your body right now. In your awareness, bring it a moment or the time where you were really very, very happy. It was the best day of your life. See your emotions. See the people you were with. See the smile on the faces, their smile on your face. See how you feel. You want to be in that moment. Hold on to that. Just live that moment. It gives you so much peace. It gives you so much joy. So here, you, the awareness, you're in the awareness, you're watching what came in the screen of your mind. It happened in the past, but you are able to merge it now. You're in the now, but it is something that happened in the past. So these are the images that came. This is the thoughts that came in your mind. In your consciousness, you can hold everything. The thoughts, the feelings, the images, everything. But it does not define me, the being. I'm just a silent observer that I'm present. I'm always present. Nothing about me changed. Think about a moment that you were not happy. See that? Separate yourself from that. Because you're still observing and not becoming. Because you are before the thoughts, before the body. You're ever present consciousness, higher consciousness. Conscious. What was your experience? Detached. You could separate it. That's what your power is. Becoming your mind. There was a change that happened in the mind, in the thoughts at the screen. It didn't define you. It came to go. It is always there. It's coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. You just have to separate. And you had the power.
Thank you, sister. So now it's your turn, Sister Rupa. What do you think? What constant change means to you in your personal and professional life?
Can you hear me? Yeah, Om Shanti. Yeah, that's very interesting topic. Since 2 days, I got this topic and I just keep thinking, what's change is happening? What change is happening? It just like in the dream is also, I always see, since 2 days, I'm in the dream also, I'm seeing the changes happening, even in my dreams. So let's look at it in the two perspective, internal and external and internal. It's like physical level and the spiritual level. The physical level we see, everything is changing. The 24 hours clock it is changed constantly. 365 days makes the year. It changes every year. Every year the new Christmas comes every year. Same cycle is repeating. And as sister says, the seasons is changed. So the cycle is repeating and repeating identically same. There is a no, I mean, they are change, but they're repeating. Means it's constant. There is a no difference. So repeating internally is constant. So that's why there's a eternal. The cycles are eternal. There has a no beginning, no ending, but just repeating identically. This because everything is start from the beginning. Everything is new, just like the new baby born. How he born is a small body, and it's become youth, and it become old age, and is life changing. And then soul left the body, and then got the another body. So this is how this process is changing. Every moment is changing. Then look at it in the internally. Our sisters just now as I mentioned that moment by moment our thought is appears and disappears. With one thought is all comes with a package. If you think about the thought, fear, whole body responding to the fears automatically. Even without your attention goes there, but it responds. The single fear is just like you just take right now, you just take one thought, bring one fear, which you have a fear, and you see, experience, first go inside and see how change is happening in your emotions, how change is happening in your feelings, and also in your body sensation. Because some they feel the heart is pumping, I mean, it's beating fast. Some they experience the sweating in their hand and tremors when the fears happen. Some they experience is the pee, just like I go to the bathroom. So there are the some changes happening in our body because every cell of the body is changing according to their time. Some cell they die in 120 days and they take another. So everything is changing. Even though you got the cut in the finger, there's a changing happen immediately. Our defensive cells start coming and they just filling out our cut, but the immediately changing is happening. But one is the who is the one is not changing. Everything is changing. Only the one is not changing. Anyone guess? Exactly. Very good. The soul is the one is not changing. Whole body change, whole external world change, even though the mind's thought and emotions change, but the soul is never change. Soul is eternal, immortal. It never died, never burned. Nothing happened to the soul. Everything is there. Then what is the fear and what is the all the anxiety and this for? If I see myself, everything is happening around me, but I am completely fearless. If I see that this drama is here, but I am not in the drama, drama is within me because everything is happening within me, but I am detached. How it possible? Everything is within me, but I am not influenced of any anxiety, any negative energy. How it possible? I just give you example. Have you seen the film movie Forrest Gump? The Forrest Gump is a who's the plays the role is a Tom Hanks, right? Tom Hanks plays the Forrest Gump role. The while he was playing the role before, during, and after, did he forget his identity? I am Tom Hanks. No, right? He always remember while playing the role or before or after. He never experienced I'm a Forrest Gump. He experiences the Forrest Gump's up and down, high and lows, all the tragic scenes, all the loving scene, happiness scenes, but he never forget his identity. I am Tom Hanks. Similarly, the soul is, for example, take example, soul is Tom Hanks, and this Rupa body is the Forrest Gump. I'm experiencing all my emotions, but I'm untouched, uninfluenced by my emotions. That makes us happiness. Because change is the beautiful experience for the soul. Because if there is a no sorrow, we can't experience the happiness without pain or sorrow. We cannot experience the ugly without beautiful things. So we have need to change because the beautiful experience, the soul is the one, soul is the experience and experiences all these things, but not influenced of any negative energies. Because I know I'm immortal. I know nothing happened to me. Even you shoot me, our soul can't die. Even you burn me, I burn my this body burn, but I'm always there. I'm always there, existed here now and all the time. I was existed before, I'm existed now, and I will be existed tomorrow because I'm ever present. So this is the beautiful, I understood the change. Everything is a change, and change is the beautiful experience for the soul. Never die. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll come back to the discussion a little later. But let me switch gears a little bit. We'll make it light for everybody. And the next part is change is hard. Some of the discussion came, change is hard. And everybody says that change could be hard. They cannot change, or I cannot change. What it needs is continuous learning, understanding, dedication, faith that I can do it. Change can be done, right? And firm determination. Once you have a firm determination, things can change. I'm talking of inner self. I'm not talking of external. External also, when we determine, we change things, right? So it's really hard. Yeah. What do you guys think? It's hard or no? It's hard, right? But so is not changing, right? So I'm going to trick you a little bit on this. I'll try to find some words, and this is how I put it. To me, it seems people are unlikely to change unless the discomfort of staying the same is more than the benefit of change. Make sense? You buy something for the reasonable price because that's worth it and not the previous, right? So people change when they have this equation, then they change. So they have to, for example, I thought I wrote an example for you. If they feel, let's say, troubled with vices, just go to that extent, right? Or they feel anger, or they feel, lust, or they feel greed, or, ego. They may seek help, or they may recognize that, oh, this is my problem, right? That will be a very fortunate situation. And then they will try to change. But if they don't understand it and they don't recognize it, are they going to change? Think about it, right? So with that, the next question comes to you, sisters. How hard had been for you to change and attain this spiritual life? So let's see, Sister Niru, it's you first again.
This path, like 5 years ago, it's not that there were problems or there were, things that I was getting disturbed with. I think it just happened. It was just the time for me to be ready, or that it came to me. So I feel very fortunate for that. And following the path of spirituality comes with some discipline. It's just like when you understand that, when you go to a doctor, and if you want to take care of certain things or certain ailments, there are certain do's and don'ts which the doctors give. I'm sure you also give to your patients. And it's up to the patient how much they really want to comply with that, but they still want to get the treatment done. So I want to be in this path, and it comes with discipline. So there are changes that in the path of spirituality that it asks for, certain discipline. And the natural habit of the person is, they get lazy or careless, especially when you have to work on some changes. But for me, changing something on the diet side came very naturally. I didn't have to make much effort. So for everyone, it's different. For certain things, it may be very difficult. For certain things, it could be very easy. And for me, changing any kind of a diet, if anything was there, it was not a big deal for me. And for me, I know it's hard if I have to go to the gym and exercise. I'm careless, I'm lazy there, I'm procrastinating. I'm like, I have all those excuses. I keep giving them money, but I'm like, one day I'm going to go there. But, because that determination or that desire some pain is not there. So maybe pain will take me there one day. But the reason why people say, but I have also been saying that change is hard, is because of our old habits, our ways, our pattern of doing things, our set behaviors. So what happens is when we are in interaction with people, when you're in relationship, connection, anyone, there's a conflict. They may not agree to my point of view. And they are right in having their own perception because that's their belief, that's their experience, that's what they think. But I could have my own. But how do we really work that out so that there is harmony? Even if there is a difference, there is harmony. But what happens is, and I know in the past I used to do that same, having that expectation for others to change. I see people around in my family too, where they would say, hey, this is making me upset. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. So they're always asking, don't do this, otherwise it's going to make me angry. Don't do this, this is going to make me irritated. And I choose not to be in that state of asking and begging for people to change so that I'm comfortable, so that I feel at ease. So coming in spirituality, that little twist came for me because I understand the world transformation will only come with my self-transformation. So rather than giving people charge of my emotions, having the control of my life and giving them the power, I need to take the power back in my hands and play differently than telling them, don't do this, don't, because they are going to do whatever they are supposed to do. And actually, in a way, they're actually helping me. If something is annoying me or irritating me, actually, I have now an attitude of gratitude for showing me what is really coming within me that I need to work on, rather than pointing fingers at them and telling them to change. So that is, it's a work in progress. There are days that one can, toggle back and forth. But what is important is before going in the scene or the next scene that I am having, what awareness am I really getting into? Am I seated in my stage of self-respect? After coming in knowledge, I know I'm not the body, as Sister was mentioning. I'm just playing a role. I know I'm a soul belonging to one, which is God. And I know where I've come from, for what purpose. So having that understanding that I'm a soul, just playing a role, and I belong to Supreme Soul, who's my Father, eternally. And I'm just here for a finite period. I have to get that constant reminder in my awareness for me to come in there. Otherwise, what happens is, if I'm not setting my stage of self-respect, if somebody is throwing any vices or garbage or anything that they're saying, and I'm absorbing it, then I become that if I don't have that. It's just like on a Tuesday and a Friday, we put our trash out. Do anybody goes outside and get their trash, neighbor's trash to your house? Does anybody do that? Even I don't do that. But so we try to put our trash out, our vices out. So if somebody is in front of me throwing the trash, which is their vices at me, do I want to take it in and absorb it, take it to my heart and become that? Or no? So that kind of makes me share an example in our organization. A very senior sister whom we call Dadi Janki. She was in a gathering and there's somebody who comes in front of her. And somebody is really, really annoyed, not from the center, somebody from outside, and is really getting upset at her, talking really rudely to the senior most sister there. And she's just looking with a smile and a sparkle in her eyes. And after the person has been screaming, shouting, and accusing her of whatever, she just gives a smile, she gives the blessing and some sweets And that's it. And after that scene was done, another sister standing by her side, she said, why did you even behave? Why did you not say a word to your self-defense? Why did you act like that? Why didn't you tell them they were wrong? And what did her answer? She said, I was not even listening. My attention was I was introspecting. My focus was all within me. What is coming within me? Am I able to stay in my self-respect, no matter what the person is saying? Am I able to stay in my self-respect and still have that pure love and feeling for that person? And she said she didn't even hear, because that is never her effort. Her effort is every situation is coming for me to see what stage am I in. She did not take it. So for us, for me, this is, and it's not that I am in that stage all the time. No, I'm in that process of learning. And there are times that I'm not introspected. I'm extroverted and I'm replying, because old sanskars, old habits just fire up like that. You don't want to say it, but it just came out, right? But the difference is now I know it happened, and I'm not going to put that guilt on me forever, but I have to bounce back. I won't be getting into that guilt and shame for hours and hours. Yes, I know I'm in this path of that changing those habits which are ingrained in me for ages. I don't know what cycle after cycle, because we say at Brahma Kumaris that soul carries those set ways of doing things from birth after birth. So I don't know when I acquired what. If I have irritation, if I have anger, I have patience with myself. And I know it was an extroversion where I reacted or something. But the key for me now is I know there is dirt within that needs to be cleaned. It's all part of my soul's journey. It's all within. Nothing is outside. It's all within, which is coming up. So it's just like if I have to clean something, if there's a tub with dirt in it, instead of throwing that away, I pour water and let the water flow and run, so that eventually that dirt will all get washed out.
Thank you.
So that's where I am in the path of washing the self and making the change.
Thank you so much. And now it's your turn, Sister Rupa. The question was, how hard had been for you to change and attain this spiritual life?
Life is learning. Same way is here. Every moment we are learn something. Not learning from the outside, learning from our inside. Because the more we study it, the more we taking this knowledge, our third eye is opening. Just the locks of the intellect is now opening. So it's not open fully, but it's gradually is opening and imbibing and understanding the knowledge, how to use it. Not only just study, just like whole life, just like we take the scriptures and study it and just forgot it. It's just like complete ritual things. I have to study it, close the book, let go. My job is done. So I make the God happy. But we never inculcated what God says in the scriptures, never understood in my, especially in my life. I couldn't understand. But since I joined this Brahma Kumaris and understood the knowledge, how to use it, but it's not blindly. First have to understand. I just be laboratory for myself to experiment. Every day I do experiment. How do I check my intellect? Just like as a today topic is giving the change. So just do this. Since 3 days, I was just experimenting. Just like make my own laboratory, open in my science laboratory and checking my inside, what's going on every moment. So why is it hard? Because we just thinking our belief system is that we are our stage is based on the circumstances, based on the people's, based on the people's behavior, and the most important, based on my inner stage. We never think about it. My stage is under my control. If my awareness is right, my awareness in the right position, so these outer external things never affect me. But what happened, our belief system, we adopting the belief system, or you can say the imprint. The so means imprint is so firm, leave the impression in our mind, and it become our habit. It's simple, just like a fear or anger or irritation. Is we always reminding ourselves it is okay. We if we mad or upset this one, it is okay if I angry somebody's. It is okay. Today is my mood is upset because we depend on our the mood. If you are happy, I am happy. In the because in the one family couples, they were dating 3 years continuously and they were happy. They were mutually understanding each other. But then they are as soon and they after they get married, because they were said we are understanding each other after a certain time. So husband is little got upset, or it's just like his mood was changing, and the wife was changing the mood of husband. And then she never set her stage, but she start blaming him. Why your mood is upset? Why this happened? She creating the doubt in her side. Just like inner commentary was open. Entire day, she just forgetted herself, but she's thinking about the other husband. Why he's changing? He was not this. She compare and contrast start. Before marriage, he was doing this. After marriage, he's all of a sudden his behavior is changed. What this happened? How this happened? Means she just focus on her stage and understand the husband's problem, because if she calm and stay and understand, she going approach to the husband and ask very politely. This is the method. But right now, what, because we created the belief system in our mind, immediately respond, immediately create the thought, fears and doubts and everything. They create the distance. If his mood is upset, I'm not talking to him. If he's angry at me, I'm just leaving the house. So they create the separation. And now the divorce happened. That's why now there's a tolerance power is so low. That's why the divorce are more common nowadays. Even though they are doing dating 3, 4 years, living together, having children, the divorce, because the tolerance, they can't tolerate, they cannot understand each other, because they just wanted to change. If you change, then I'm happy. If you do according to my way, then I'm very satisfied with you. I'm living with you. So these things we have need to be understood. First, I have to set my stage, not upset. When my stage is in right awareness, with so much love and respect for the others, and approach to the husband, what is problem, what you are changing this. So mutual communication help us. It heals the mind, it heals the heart, and it heals the whole atmosphere surrounding us. If one person is upset in the house, our whole family got upset. It's like contagious process. It's like the infection is spread whole house. So why my mood is depend on their others? So means I give the remote control to the others, how they use me. If they are happy, I'm happy. Why my remote control is not mine? And by understanding I'm the soul, nothing affect me. Then why my mood is changing according to their behavior? So this is the way we have to understand, with love, with respect, understand others with your awareness, and just easy, just automatically change everything.
Thank you so much. So that sums up essentially that if I remain in the awareness of the soul, then my qualities of the soul should not be dependent on somebody else. So if I'm a happy soul, that happiness is within me. I need to maintain that. So if I remain, so I will quote here before we go to the next question in the interest of time. Just the past Monday, we had a morning lesson and that was so touchy. And I will say a few lines about that. And because this really fits into my next question. it was stated that in order to change from an ordinary human into the one with pure divine virtues, like godly virtues essentially, one must have knowledge of self, like what we are talking about, soul consciousness, right? And then what else we should know? We should know our supreme soul, the God. Always remember God. Remember that I am a soul and I have a supreme soul, who is my father. Live in that relationship. If I live in that relationship, and I'm sure sister will touch upon it, and then that relationship brings the, when we have a relationship, we have love, right? So if we have a relationship with God, supreme soul, we have love. And when we have love, what we have? When you have grandchildren, you love them, what do? You remember them. So same, if I am having a relationship with my father, supreme soul, then that awareness, and I'm aware that I'm a soul, and I love for him, then I remember him. More you remember, more you will remain soul conscious. And we'll elaborate on that little later. So still bring about constant change may be so hard in spite of all these things that we understand. So let's ask our sister the last question. And I'll leave the fourth question unanswered, right? The third question is, sister, would you please guide us to the ways to make this transformation easy? So specifics. I want really specifics come out of both of you. Share some of your experiences, please. Let's start with Sister Niru again. And in 2-3 sentences, if you can tell us what would you suggest to transformation?
So, mind, knowing that I'm here for a finite period of time with the finite energy that I have, and knowing what my aim and objective is, or my aim is, or my purpose, which brother also mentioned, is to bring the best of a human being quality within me. I know it's all within me, to immerse them. That is my purpose, so that I'm able to harmonize the sanskars. I'm able to have that peace, love, and happiness, as Sister was mentioning, that gets disturbed and disrupted when we are out of balance. So to get that, I realized I have to be colored myself in the company of God, because he's the highest, because I'm God's child. If I'm God's child, and it's only when I'm looking at him, if I'm surrounding myself with the people who are having different habits, who are partying, drinking, cursing, all that different stuff, it has to have impact. And so knowing that, I'm consciously choosing what I plan to do, with whom I hang out. So I choose to hang out with God. I'm going to take it to the bowl.
Thank you.
So the way I see it, I'm like a visual person. Before we sow any seed or we grow anything, first we have to clean the soil. We have to clean the land. So for that, it is my intellect. It's my consciousness. It's setting my stage of self-respect. My self-respect of who am I? I'm a soul. I'm a pure being. I'm a point of light. Setting my awareness, cleaning it up, having that intellect, clean intellect. I sow the seed. The soul makes a determined thought, a powerful thought, a desire to change, a desire to transform and emerge, which is not anywhere outside, it's within me. That's the determination. And that is what takes the root, that strong, strength, powerful thought, and the determination and the desire to transform. And while it's doing that, it needs a constant watering of knowledge. And it's by studying what happens is it's not that the wind won't be blowing, the storms won't be coming, the plant won't be shaking. It will all happen. But it knows that it is strong. It knows what the truth is about itself. So this constant knowledge, studying daily and having the remembrance of your Father, who may not be visible, but it's there. He's the Supreme Soul. And the Supreme Soul, remembering him gives me the power, gives me the support, gives me what I need, what the child needs. God knows, each father knows what the child needs. But to do all that, there has to be constant attention to the self, not looking outward, but looking within. So there has to be constant attention that I need to do within me. What is arising within me? Sitting myself in the stage of self-respect, knowing who I am, seeing whatever people may be saying, whatever they may be doing, but still giving them, not asking them, giving them the fragrance and being a giver, not demanding. So I don't know if it answered your question or not. So my method is your self-respect, knowing who you are, having that higher consciousness, no matter what you come, you don't get yourself off the stage of self-respect. For that, you need that constant attention from what's going on within me, not outside. Outside situations are not in our control. We can never control that. All we can do is how we act, how we carry ourselves, which can only happen by the constant rain of knowledge, which will give the power and the strength to the soul. And that can only happen when we are protected in the canopy of God and his protection.
Thank you, sister, for that beautiful explanation. And I think with that, we have that question posed to you now, Sister Rupa.
Brother and sister mentioned is the God is the one make it easier transformation. If I have all relationship with me, so my path is so easy because I am the soul, he is a supreme soul. I am a virtuous, he is a ocean of the virtuous. I am the powerful, he is a master powerful. So he's a powerhouse. So how we get the energy and how we charge our battery, which is complete diffused. So we have to charge the battery by connecting with him, with our Supreme Father. So all attain the all relationship with him, even though just self-talk is very important, beneficial. Once you talk to yourself with your inner mind, whatever comes in your mind, even though nasty thought comes in your mind, surrender to the God. Just come, just like as a child circling around the mother and telling the stories. Similarly, you just circling around the father. God, today I got this thought. God, today I this thought. So this is the method helping us because whatever negative energy come, we surrender to the God. God says, give your garbage to me. He always asking us, give your nasty thought to me. You surrender yourself to me and see your beauty because you are a beautiful soul. You have all virtues and powers within you. You just recognize yourself. So this connection help us to change everything easily and smoothly. And just like as we grow, every day we shines. And is sometimes there's no need for the words to say something. It automatically change. There is a one senior Dadi, as the sister mentioned it. A small story, 1 minute I will take. So Dadis means our grand Dadi, and she was the head of the organization of that one. So one sister, she has a deep nature of the gossiping. So she just go one department and her job was the cleaning everything and she do the gossiping. So every department doesn't like because she just bring the information news from here and there and shares. So they don't like it. So they transfer from one department to the other department. Finally, she reached to our Dadi, Janki. And someone already informed to the Dadi, her nature is this. But Dadi, our Dadi never see the nature. She never see your body physical. She has awareness, who am I? And see them, you are a beautiful soul, pure soul, virtuous soul. She never identified the gossip with her identity. So what she says, and you know this humble, she was head and she was cleaning a cleaning person. She dusting and cleaning the windows. She said, I will do your job and you do my job. And she was surprised, Dadi, how come I do your job? You are a superior, you are a head, and I'm just cleaning the stuff. Then Dadi says, you read the Murli, there is a no superiority, no inferiority. We are equal because souls all are equal. There's no superior, no inferior. We all are equal. So Dadi says, you read the knowledge means Murli. Murli means we take the God's knowledge and we read together, and I will do your work. So few days, she every day come, Dadi gives her work, read Murli 5 times for me, and I will do your cleaning. Certain time, her gossiping nature was transformed by itself. Why? Because she and see the beauty of this Dadi, she never involved between her and God's knowledge. She didn't get the credit. I'm the one transforming her. But let her own awareness teach her to transform. So by reading the God's knowledge, and she just got touched and she transformed herself by herself. So this is the humble. I mean, I love this experience. The what the dadis, she never took the credit. I change it. She her humility and humble change her kindness. She never identify you are the gossip lady or something. Everybody was seeing her the gossip lady, but the one thought he never sees see the beautiful. So this is the method. Connect with God, talk with him. Certain somewhere you don't need to words. She didn't say you are who, never said you change it, just by her means automatically transform. So this is the lesson we have to learn. We don't need to word to say our even myself or to other, or cursing myself to our other. Just be who you are, connect with God. You automatically transform because we are a pure soul. We are equal. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. That's a beautiful story. And if I may say, really the essence of the story with so many qualities that you describe in this story is repetition. Repetition is that's what makes you perfect. If you keep doing the same and time and again, you really become perfect in it. If you practice anger, you will become a perfect person in anger. If you practice peace, you'll become a perfect peaceful soul. With that, I think in the interest of time, I'll just request Sister Anjani to give us her words of wisdom, her thoughts, and also walk us through the meditation for a few minutes. Sister Anjani. Sister Anjani is the coordinator of Global Harmony House and head here. And we were fortunate to have her here as our teacher, as our guru, as our sister. And here you go, sister, all yours.
Om Shanti. Wasn't it wonderful? Give them a round. I don't think I need to add anything. They did very well sharing. Make us. That would be so lovely. Yes. That will be change also, right? Change that they can be here and so it's very interesting. We can go on thinking about change and we look at our lives and we see every second changes. And some of the changes we resist and some of the change we accept. Why do we accept some of the changes and why do we resist some of the changes? And so what we resist, those are the changes that are. And the changes that we come to understand and we come to realize, and we feel that we don't have another way out. There is pain, or suffering, or there is circumstances, and what happens? You accept it. And the moment you accept it, what happens? you find that it's also the same person you're having difficulty with. You just have to understand that, realize that that's how the person will be, that's how they will play their part, whatever is the circumstances. And you just move to that place of acceptance inside. What happens? My acceptance helps me, and it also helps the other person. And so we could go on and on and on about change, but we know that change begins with whom? With myself. So anytime, any given moment, we are having any difficulty with anyone, just know, go back in yourself and change that which I'm having difficulty with in someone else. Because I'm actually not having difficulty with someone else. Who I'm having difficulty with? Myself. And when I will just bring that change, I'll be a happier person. So we accept ourselves, and in that beautiful form of acceptance, everything becomes easy. So thank you all so much. The three of you were
I want to emphasize on 2 points you made, both of you, which you emphasize on. Is about the consciousness, the change of consciousness, being in soul consciousness, knowing who you are. And also, you emphasize on the fact that knowing who your father is, the Supreme Soul. And Sister Miru, right? You were mentioning about spirituality. And I figured that spirituality you're talking about is after knowing who you are, who your father is, the spiritual activity is connecting with that Supreme Being. And then all the good changes take place. I think that is what you're propagating. Thank you very much.
right. So we're going to have a couple of minutes of meditation, but also one takeaway is the most challenging change is the change of consciousness that I'm not this body. So you might even tell yourself so many times, but it doesn't get changed at the conscious level. And so no matter how many times you have to remind yourself, no matter how many times you have to move back to that place within yourself, do it. Because the more I move to that space, that light, who I am, everything goes to that stillness. And that's what the sisters were saying, that which never changes. And that's who the soul is. So let's sit for a couple of minutes. And reflect on that which changes and that which never changes. So when I look at myself as this living light, this living energy, the energy of peace, the energy of love, the energy of joy, the moment I become stable in this awareness, I can feel that I'm in the most beautiful space within myself. And this space is very constant. This is who I am. This is what I am. I am this beautiful being of light. And it is this beautiful being of light that thinks of God, the supreme light, the supreme soul, the supreme source, the one who's the ocean of love, ocean of peace, the one who is also constant. When I am in the consciousness of who I am constant. And when I remember the supreme source as he is constant in that purest form. unchangeable. So I remind myself, I am not this body. Everything of the body exists outside of me. So I can step away using the power of my thoughts to move into a very beautiful space within me and to connect with the Supreme Source so I can experience and accept all that which I need to accept to face the world of change. Om Shanti.
Next Thursday, we have announcement to make. For next Thursday evening, Sister Carmen is going to talk to us on healing power of love. So that should be very beautiful session as well. So please join us. Thank you. And now we are going to get her Tolly. Yeah. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti. Wait for the blessing cards and Tolly, please.